Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails through Daybreak 2, where we just warp back in time to the beginning of a day after saving Maxime and Yumi from the corrosion and Arsenal from being murdered by Maxime, and we were then killed, and now we are back, and now we pursue the other path we had at the beginning of the day, investigating the mysteries we have so far left untouched, like Bergard advised us. Anyway, let's begin with Märchengarten, I think. You said Mirabelle was looking to a Märchengarten, right? Any luck on that end? Knowing her, she'll have already come across something of note. Shall we contact her? Howdy with that, and same to you, Arkwright Solutions. What's shaking besides that walking blade hazard you added to your crew, I mean? We wanted to check in on the Märchengarten. First off, how much do you already know about what's happening? Well, now, wait to put a girl on the hot seat. Guess there's no point keeping it on the down low, huh? I know I said we lost control of the place after it got hijacked, but that doesn't mean Marduk hasn't been monitoring the sitch around the clock. And actually, after analyzing yesterday's data... Don't tell me you did something screwy. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants! A pattern of abnormal system operations like none we've ever observed before took place yesterday. As for how and why it happened, well, you can search me. The only thing you could suss out was that it had accessed geographical data from the Longley area. So we were right. The garden systems were involved. And it's over hush-hush I can share. Sounds like it was enough for you to figure something out though, huh? A few somethings thanks to you. Glad to hear. Looking forward to you getting us back in the driver's seat, Van. Yeah, well, I wouldn't get your hopes up just yet. Got a feeling settling this whole thing is gonna be a hell of a time for us. Don't know what that means, but let's just call it a you problem. So long for now. Be seeing you again soon, Wizard. Indeed, take care, Mirabelle. But that comes to what I've been suspecting for a while. The Garden Master really is the one hijacking the Märchengarten. I can still remember my shock when the space around us morphed into a long-light poo-boo. It may well be that the Gwendol Zolgar's power utilizes the garden system as a foundation. In doing so, reality itself is corroded. I never even knew that was possible. It's like that the power of a Genesis was somehow employed as well. If you follow that train of thought, the Garden Master didn't steal the Genesis just to rewrite people's perceptions. But for something much bigger. We'll just have to put it on the back burner for now. The takeaway here is that this probably won't be the last time reality gets corroded. Keep that in mind while we're out and about. Well, if it isn't our delinquent tenant, the gang gets bigger every time I see you. Yeah, well, it's not like I asked for it. I apologize for any commotion. And I'm sorry I didn't stop you for breakfast. Get a lot of that aroma, huh? Catch me in a good mood and maybe I treat you. By the way, didn't you all get invited to the Z1 Grand Prix? Yeah, well, that Comet Clown sent us free tickets. And Yumi said she just had to see it. That's right. We'll be closing up shop as soon as the morning crowd's gone. So if you'd like to order something, now's the time. Duly noted. I'd have nabbed a seat in the stands too, things are the way they are. But hey, don't let it stop you folks from enjoying yourselves. Oh, we plan on it, believe you me. Wouldn't be worth a lost business otherwise. You take care of everyone. See you later. You can now travel to the Satan District and Trion Tower. I'm really looking forward to the finals today, but do you think Maxime will be okay? What if he gets a tummy ache because he's so nervous? I'm sure he'll be fine, not like it's the first time in the circuit. True, but it's the first time he'll have Paulette and Yume watching him in the finals. Yeah, it'd be pretty funny if we beefed it, don't you think? Alright, new areas. I And new quests, apparently.
Let's be on our way.
Apparently we keep the Genesis from the Rewind? And so Yumi is fine now because
That's just a rumor, right?
her mind isn't rewritten or something? Hey, look who's here. How's it going? We're just out doing some information gathering. And since nothing big's popped up yet, I guess the answer is that it ain't going too well. We were curious if there have been any updates since I dropped by this morning. You seem to be deep in conversation though. Did something happen? The juicier the better. Well, I wouldn't call it the most helpful until, but wait. Since when was Ikaruga's second command mixed in with you guys? I almost let that pass right by me. Oh, that's just a shinobi technique I'm trying out. It's supposed to make you ignore me completely. Kurgane did say it would be useless though, since I stand out just being here. But hey, if it can give a immovable a jolt, then it's not a total lost cause, right? So it hides you without actually hiding you. Cool. Straight up, you need a real hobby. We've got our reasons for collaborating before. No need to sweat the details. If we make it back on topic, did you learn something new? Well, ever since that whole mess on Nemeth Island, the guild's been going after the Oathbreaker again. Not that we actually know where the guy is, but you could say he's been laying low for once. Laying low? That old coot? Kind of hard to believe. There are many eyes peeled for any potential backroom activity from him. Even if he were to evade capture, he would sure leave behind some sort of trace. Since we found nothing of the sort, it can only mean that he's inactive for the time being. It may be that he's already accomplished his objective, either that, or he was caught by the society and had the tower beat out him. Wishful thinking, as nice as it sounds. Anyway, that brings us to the alliance between the Oathbreaker and that so-called Garden Master. We suspect it was only a temporary thing. I do remember him saying something like that.
Our contract is complete. Your assistance was most appreciated, Oathbreaker. Now kindly leave the stage.
The floor is all yours. What you do from here is none of my concern. So go nuts. I'm curious whether your scheme will play out like you think it will. Should make for an interesting watch.
This definitely lends some weight to those words. Up until Nemeth Island, the two had been collaborating to some extent, so it's likely the Oathbreaker and the Garden Master are both working toward different goals. Elaine caught me up on what happened yesterday. This Garden Master guy's on the move now, yeah? I'm just glad we don't have to face both these dirtbags at the same time. There's one silver lining here. It stands to reason that he has further plans in the capital, judging from yesterday's events. That whole fiasco felt more like a trial run if you ask me. This is when things really start to ramp up. You sure to make it sound ominous? In any event, the guild will need to be more vigilant than ever now. We do what we can, but it'll only get us so far while those devices are still out there. It's gonna be on you guys to step up to the plate, Arkwright. Don't have to tell me twice. Before the Garden Master's plot and bring Swin and Nadia back no matter what it takes.
You can always count on the brave.
Ah, and Jacobin is here. Freeze! We have a warrant out for your arrest. If you've got anything to say for yourself, we hear you out of the station. What are you doing? Let me go of me! I was only trying to awaken the citizen of Kalba to the evils of... Whatever, pal. Maybe you should focus on not being a public nuisance for once. Anyway, you're coming with me. Damn you, government dog! Don't you understand? Are you deaf to the cries of your ancestors whose immigrants have stolen everything from us? You're just using free speech as an excuse to say whatever you want. Well, if you're so innocent, you have no problem coming downtown with us.
I wonder if business will be better this year.
There's no way I can trust the police or the guild with something this important. If only I could get the spring to take up my request. Sounds like she got a job for you, man. Guess that's been a while since I checked the bulletin board, so let's go take a look.
Let's see.
The Mishy Misadventure. Are you aware that Mishy's revamped design has been rather controversial among his fanbase? Apparently some fans have even been plotting something nefarious to show how much they hate it. But whatever their plans are, we can't let them get away with it. For Mishy's sake, please help us stop them. I'll be waiting in the rest area on Station Street. Okay, what do we have here?
Now, what's it say?
Sewer System 3. According to recent a dangerous monster, the 100-eyed worm has been sighted in the Center Marche's old sewer system. We would greatly appreciate taking care of this beast in the guild stat. And Trion Tower. Mishy has a show scheduled at the Trion Mall stage today. Should put one on every hour and still never get old for me. Not to get ahead of myself, but I'm bouncing off the walls of excitement already.
Drop by the Vern store if you want to check out the hottest new.
God. Kilika. And Kayla. Ah, it is an Arkwright Solutions. I see you have beauty displayed with you along with other more dubious company. Out on a little group tour, are we? I should be so lucky and don't act like you aren't wise to what's going on with us. How about you, Miss Division Chief, taking a personal day with your flunky? There's a political debate tomorrow at Trion Mall. We need to conduct a preliminary security inspection. But I will consider taking in the scenery from a high can be an effective stress reliever. So you've got it tough too, huh? We're still pursuing that Crimson Beast as well as a man who calls himself a Garden Master. Though I regret to inform that we don't have any more information than you do at present. That's too bad. This is the Nemeth Island case, all eyewitness reports have stopped cold. In fact, now that the serial killings have stopped, things in the capital have been almost peaceful. But who knows how long the battle lasts. Needless to say, the situation is only temporary. Or perhaps it would be better described as the calm before the storm. But no matter what schemes are taking form, we can be certain that they won't be carried out by conventional means. With that in mind, I'm expecting great dividends from your efforts. Don't get your hopes up too high, still, we do plan on bringing an end to this. Then allow me to tell you our findings in exchange. They regard those dolls modeled after members of the Gardens. The CID took some of them in after the incident at Armis, as I recall. What did your analysis uncover? As suspected, they're linked to the super technology that arose during Crossbow's most recent incident. In particular, they're built to simulate the underlying concepts behind simulacra. Simulated simulacra. Try saying that 3 times fast. However, it would appear that the original technology could not be reproduced. From this, we surmised that they incorporated Society, Marduk, and Zect arms engineering, among others. In terms of how faithfully they reproduce their originals, the dolls are nowhere close to on par with the simulacra. That, however, is because those aspects were skewed in favor of combat specialization and formidable battle prowess. We believe they were produced around a year ago while both Almata and the Gardens were still active. Aside from the twins, all other members of the Gardens have been wiped out. So the Garden Master unleashed these killer robots instead? And so the organization that had been warped from the start manages to survive more warped than ever. That's karma for you. There haven't been any reports of these assassin dolls being deployed anywhere else. But if a Garden Master begins to act in earnest, they could very well emerge as an additional threat. You'd best be careful out there. We appreciate your concern. The Grendel Zolga started off by hitting a military compound. There's no telling what his true target is. If anything, Yell at the CID should be the ones watching your step. Is that concern for your childhood friend I detect? Or we should have passed it along to Mr. Kincaid? That ain't what I meant. I won't think he would love to hear it. Give me a break. Soon after, Killiga and Kayla returned to work, whereupon Van and the group resumed their own activities. Orb mail? It's from Father Master Bagart. He just sent me a letter yesterday, now it's an orb mail? Wonders never cease. 1. A major breakthrough has surfaced regarding your current predicament, prompting my immediate return to Edith. I ask that you head to the underground rooms at Station Street so we may discuss this matter in private. A major breakthrough? Doesn't sound like your everyday stuff, might even have something to do with me specifically. Is there a problem, Van? Nah, just some personal correspondence. So, we've been milling about for a while now, what do you say we take a breather? Sure, about time we grab a bite to eat anyway. Our party's pretty big this time around, maybe we could split up? Good idea, let's part ways for lunch and reach a good starting point. Better keep things to myself and I know what this is all about.
Heavenly view.
Good, then do the side quest first.
On my way.
So, Rosie.
Business will be better this year.
Hey, you the Rosie that issued a 4SPG? You're from Arkwright Solutions, we saw your request. Oh, you're the ones everyone's been talking about. You got here much faster than I thought you would. That's good, because we're running out of time. Running out of time? That's so, why don't you start by telling us what's going on then? Your request made some mention of a Mishy show, I believe. Oh, that reminds me, isn't there supposed to be some kind of difference between the new Mishy and the old one? Honestly, I can't really tell. Well, why don't I start there? Mishy was born in a theme park in Crossbell, Michelin Wonderland. But a financial vacuum left in Arabonia after a war gave Vallis Investment Bank an opening to swoop in and buy up a bunch of her stock. That's how they became Michelin Wonderland's major investors. Vallis Investment Bank. They've been pushing the company to expand their market ever since, particularly into the Republic. That's what led to the higher-ups deciding to put Mishy through a whole new redesign. His new features are supposed to appeal to people from the Republic, and the costume's apparently easier to move around in too. It seems to allow Mishy to show more expressions as well. I'm disappointed they removed the cute little stripes on his body, however. Right? When everyone thinks of Mishy, they imagine a small limp face with a plump body. It was peak character design. Mal just doesn't understand his charms. They completely got rid of the snuggly feeling he gave off. I see. You are very passionate about this. You seem pretty familiar with Mishy yourself, Elaine. She sure is, been a hardcore Mishy fan since her student days. You don't need to advertise it to the world. Plus, you can't exactly call me hardcore. I'm actually quite behind on Mishy lore these days. Oh yeah, definitely something a casual fan would say. Think what you like. Anyway, I apologize for all my excitement. I'm actually no longer a part of the old Mishy fan group. I've recently come to believe that both the new and old Mishy have their positives. Well, I guess it's better than making a fuss over it. I agree, and for what it's worth, Mishy's old design is still rather prominent in Crossbow. Yeah, unfortunately that doesn't mean much to the old Mishy's more radical fans. There's a reason I contacted you all actually. You see, I've heard a rumor that they intend on interfering with a Mishy show today at the Trion Mall. Well, that's definitely not something we can ignore. Could be dangerous. Yes, however, as for who exactly the person planning to interfere is, well, I'm not too sure. That's why I'm asking for your help. After all, it would be terrible if the show got interrupted. I mean, that sounds like a pretty reasonable request. But as I'm sure you're aware, this is a job for somebody like a mall cop, not a Spriggan. Although I imagine they'd have a hard time acting on something that's little more than a rumor. Was there a particular reason you thought would be your best choice? There is. think about it. If a fan of Mishy's were to have a run-in with the authorities, his reputation would be sure to plummet. Also, I can't help but sympathize with the old Mishy fans. They just really love him is all. I was hoping you guys could help me end things peacefully. This way no one gets hurt or has their reputation destroyed. So in other words, you want us to stop the target from ruining the show and cover up their tracks. Well, I can't say I don't understand how you feel. However, if these Mishy fans truly do intend on disrupting the peace, I think it would be best if they were judged lawfully for their actions. If they don't face consequences, they'll only go bolder. I guess you're right. Wait a sec, there's only one person trying to interfere, right? Yes, we may call the radicals a group, but there's barely even that. Honestly, most of their bad apples work in isolation. And given that the majority of their members think disrupting the Mishy show is going a step too far, it's not hard to see why. It should be relatively simple to trace their movements then. Do you know what their plan involves? I'm sorry, any details I know are pretty vague. You could always hire a Jägerkorps to deal with them, and depending on how big it is, you could probably send them to wipe out the entire group. With a smaller corps, though, you might just have to settle for killing the guy in charge. Don't you think that's going a bit overboard? Well, actually, maybe it's best to be prepared. What if they plan to do something dangerous? Listen, nobody's planning an armed strike on Mishy or his fans, got it? If you say so. Anyway, we probably won't be able to learn anything concrete unless we start asking on the mall. Shall we head on over to see what we can find? Well... Alright, I guess we're on the case. I mean, sure, it's a little strange, but it kind of feels right up our alley. Great, thank you so much. You should head over to the Trial Mall as soon as you can. The show should be starting in about an hour. I'm sure the culprit is waiting for his chance to pounce. We do everything we can to find him. Actually, do you mind if I tag along? Honestly, I've got a feeling this crazy fan of ours already knows your face. You can come with us to the mall, but don't enter until we give you the all clear, understood? Yes, sir. Okay, let's get moving.
Let's hurry up and finish this.
Wow, this place seems pretty busy. There seem to be a lot of parents with children here. They must be waiting for the show. It might make it harder to search for a culprit. Should we just start looking for this guy's hiding place? I think we should find the Mishy show staff first. I know we don't want to alert the police or anything, but we can still give them a heads up. We have to make sure they're ready, just in case we don't get to the culprit in time. Smart thinking. The staff lead is usually placed in the wings of a stage. Let's head there now. Right.
Welcome to the tree.
This guy looks like the one in charge. Excuse me, you got a moment? There's something we think the Mishy staff should know. Of course, is there an issue somewhere? Sorry, but we might want to talk about this elsewhere. Alright, was there something I could do for you? We're pretty busy, so if it's not anything important... We're from Unsolved Solutions. We just received a job from a concerned citizen. One proceeded to explain the details of Rosie's request. Don't worry about finding the person. We take care of that part for you. I just wanted you guys to be aware of the situation. You should be prepared in case we slip up. I see. You know, actually these radical Mishy fans have become quite the topic among our stuff too. We occasionally have some disturbances during our shows with booing and everything. Most of us figured that's with us. But I never thought they'd go so far. Excuse me, if you've experienced these kinds of disturbances before, why haven't you notified the respective authorities? Well, we certainly considered it, but we avoid they might want to start forcefully removing people or refuse entry. Not only would it paint a bigger target on our back, but would also ruin the atmosphere of a Mishy show. We figured we could handle it by giving out warnings at the beginning of a performance. If it was me, I'd kick them out faster than they could say wishy with Mishy. Anyway, if what he said is true, we might just have to ramp up security after all. I talk to the staff right now and have them prepare for the worst. Thanks, that should make our job a little easier. Then that's one task accomplished. What should we do next? Now we start the hunt. I'm pretty sure the culprit is somewhere in the mall. Think I even caught the scent earlier. Should try our best to capture him before the show starts. Santa? Would you perhaps be smelling those two over there? That woman wandering the mall corridor has been acting a little strange. She doesn't really look like she's here to watch a show either. She seems to be handing out some papers. As for the other scent, what about the guy handing out balloons? I don't really think he's doing anything weird though. No, he isn't, but I can't shake the feeling that he's still suspicious somehow. You sure have a knack for this, but you're right. I'm sure one of them is the culprit. Sorry for stealing your thunder. Anyway, let's go talk to them and see if we can learn anything. It would be nice if they gave up as soon as they saw us.
Their Eastern tea is quite nice.
Hey, what are you handing out? Oh, are you interested? Please take some with you. Let me give you my card as well. Join us in bringing back the true Mishy. I'm trying to gather signatures in support of returning Mishy's old design. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm a huge fan. I visit MWL pretty often, even though it's all the way in Crosswell. Nobody in all the Republic loves Mishy more than I do. No, all the world. Wow, that's some confidence. Yeah, you sure are passionate about this. Radical might be putting it lightly. But why is she wearing so much perfume? It's really overwhelming. The Mishy you see in the Republic is a fraud. He's trampling all over Mishy's good name. Whether it's a new design of a costume or even that Mishy and Boots movie, none of them are the cat we know and love. The company's far too focused on making Mira lately, which means they've been neglecting the most important thing of all, Mishy's personality. You know, I kind of understand where you're coming from. I mean, the new design is alright, but there's just something about it that feels a little off. And don't ignore that feeling. You mustn't give in to the new Mishy. I've had over 30 people sign a petition already, and they would all agree with you. I believe that those supporting the new Mishy are being fooled into doing so. Is that so? Yes, that's why I plan on watching the show happening later. I have my eyes on them in case there's any funny business going on. Our dream is to create an NWL in the Republic, one that's true to form. If you feel as strongly as I do, I implore you to please add your signature to the list. Well, I definitely have to think about it. Let's go find our other suspect.
Welcome to the Treon Mall. Here you'll find Treon Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks. You'll also find the Vern store, a movie theater, boutiques, and other various shops to peruse. Drop by the Vern store if you want to check out the hottest new commodity, the T-phone.
You handing out balloons for a Mishy show? Yes, I am. They were originally supposed to be used to decorate the mall, but I had some extra left over, so I've been giving them out free to guests. That's awfully thoughtful of you. So does it mean you're one of the Mishy show's staff members? I guess you could say that. I've only really been hired for a day gig though. I'm a long-time fan of Mishy, so it's always been my dream to help out with the show. I was so glad I could finally arrange my schedule to take the job today. Do you normally do other work? Yeah, I'm a painter, you know? Someone who paints roofs and walls and stuff. I also like working on mechanical stuff as a hobby every now and then. I even made a Mishy mobile once. A Mishy mobile? I'm assuming that's a car with pictures of Mishy all over it? Exactly, I even put together some custom parts that looked like Mishy's ears and tail. It's actually parked outside the mall right now. Would you like to see it? That's amazing, we'll take a look when we get a chance. You said you were a long-time fan, right? So does that mean the design of the car is the old Mishy? Of course. The old Mishy is a true Mishy. New one's just some fake made by some big stockholders. There's no competition. I just wish people who like the new one would open their eyes. He feels different all of a sudden. I feel kind of threatened. Also, what's that lemon smell coming off of him? Sorry, I got a little carried away. I know that the Valis investment bank's pretty much the whole reason Mishy was even able to come to the Republic. I'm really grateful for that, at least. Is that so? Thank you. You've really given us some things to think on. Well, we've talked to our two suspects. Both of them loved the old Mishy too, but I think they were a bit more than their average fans. Yeah, neither of them really seemed like they planned to interfere with the show though. A man handing out balloons and a woman getting signatures? There's still something I don't get. Yeah, why did they both smell so weird? You're right. I picked up on that as well. The culprit has to be one of them. Might be able to figure it out by process of elimination. Scent? Process of elimination? Yeah. The person who came to interfere with the Mishy show is... I'm the man. Most likely the guy with balloons. You don't think it's a woman? They both had really strong feelings about the new Mishy. The woman's trying to get rid of a new Mishy by gathering signatures. She even had her own cards made. And if she were to plan something that would interfere with the show, what do you think would happen? If it became known to the public that she was behind it all, her hard work would go up in smoke. Yeah, she's probably just going to keep gathering signatures. When you put it like that, I guess it makes sense. It just leaves a guy with balloons. Yes, but even without us narrowing it down, there's a reason he stood out. It's fun to see you guys slowly suss out the culprit. I tend to rely on my instincts, they're never wrong. You don't have to be so snide about it. Whatever. Let's go find our guy. There's not much time till the show starts. Oh, you're back. Did you want a balloon? The show's about to begin, so I started putting them away. Sorry, but there's something we need to talk to you about. We don't have much time, so I keep it short. Perry, you up? Tamam! What are you doing? I've done nothing wrong. Maybe not yet, but you are certainly planning to. We know all about your little scheme, for example, those balloons. Why don't we cut one and see what's inside? As Shizuna drew a katana, the balloon burst over the sound. And from the balloon dripped a liquid. Is it paint? You put paint in the balloons? Well, isn't this a surprise? I have no idea how that got in there. Must have been someone else. Besides, how would something like that disrupt the show anyway? I assume it has something to do with that scent you're giving off. That strong lemon smell. The components of citrus fruits have a corrosive effect on rubber. In other words, if you apply a citrus-based juice to balloons, it would eventually burst. If you're close enough, some of the balloons have a clasp keeping them shut. Didn't you say something about being good with mechanical stuff? If you made a device that was capable of spraying lemon juice and put it on a timer, you could release the paint right as the show is at its peak, ruining it for everyone. Aaron took a look in the man's pocket. And what do we have here? Some liquid and a few clasps. There's no more talking your way out of this one. Amazing. But you guys are too late. Why don't you take a look at the ceiling? These balloons have paint in them too? That's right, it sucks that I couldn't get them all up there, but whatever. When the paint falls, it'll be sure to splash everything and everyone in its way. Every fan of a new Mishy deserves to be doused. You idiot, do you even realize what you're doing? You old, doesn't matter. You're not worthy to call yourself a Mishy fan at all. Huh? Hello everyone, the Mishy show will be starting in just a few moments. Please gather around the stage and get ready to make a wishy with Mishy. Be out of time. I think we learned all we can. Fairy, keep an eye on him. Understood. What are you going to do? We talk to the staff and gather all the balloons ourselves. The ones on the ceiling take priority. Try to see if you and Theo can do anything about them, but try not to attract attention from the guests. Got it. I should be able to do something with Shard Search. Theo?
Commencing emergency balloon retrieval. Leave it to Theo.
Alright, let's get going. I'm not quite certain what I should be prioritizing here, but... Ah. I'll probably have to repeat that because I didn't understand the quest. Try again. Alright.
All pink balloons have been retrieved. Mission complete.
Well done, Theo. We managed to get them all on our end too. Look at the chin is just before the show climaxed. Alright everyone, let's do it! Make a wishy with Mishy! Sheesh, we're over here struggling, man, just dancing the time away. Well, I guess I'm glad that fun wasn't ruined. You said it. Following as the advance group proceeded to inform the staff of a recently thwarted scheme. Manman also made contact with Rosie to notify of a resolution of the issue. I don't even want to think about what could have happened without your help. I'm so glad I put out that request. I mean, if I had gone to the police or the guild, they probably would have just shut the whole show down and called it quits. Seriously, thank you so much for your help. Allow me to offer my thanks as well. I really appreciate everything you've done for us. By the way, you said your name was Rosie, yes? I'd like to cover the request fee for you. Would it be okay? Well, sure, I guess I don't mind. Fine by me. Couldn't care less who shells out in the end. As long as I actually do, you know? But before we forget, we still gotta figure out what we wanna do with this guy. I didn't actually think you guys would get to all the balloons in time. Guess you're just as good as we must say you are, Arkwright Solutions. Hey, can I ask you a question? Why did you want to disrupt the show in the first place? Because I refuse to accept the new Mishy. See, I've been a fan for a long time now. I even have a collection of every piece of Mishy merchandise that's ever been sold. That's incredible. So when I learned that I'd finally be able to see Mishy in the public, I was over the moon. But when I found out he was just an imposter, however, I knew that for those just discovering Mishy, that fraud would become the real thing to them. So I figured I would show them. Show them that the Mishy they know and love isn't a real Mishy. They deserve to know. I'm sorry to hear you were disappointed. Can't say I don't see where he's coming from, though. Man, this guy's really digging his heels in. If we do actually end up doing this without the authorities, there's a real possibility he'll circle back to plan something even worse in the future. Alright, if we want to stop him from making a comeback, I think we have two options. Either we chew him out, or we intimidate him. Let's go with chewing him out. Hopefully it'll hit home. Ben, would you mind letting me handle this? You're sure? Alright then, go for it. What? I can sympathize with what you're feeling. You see, I'm also a long-time fan of Mishy's. However, I want to tell you one thing. Do you remember how it felt when you first became a fan? Of course I do. That's not a feeling I ever forget. It's like I was overcome with a need to drown myself in all sorts of knowledge about Mishy. I really wanted to meet him too, so I even traveled all the way to Crossbar to watch the show there. Yes, I recall the same feeling. You know, some of the people in the audience today might have also had that feeling, and you almost prevented it from happening. Just because you don't like the new Mishy, that doesn't give you the right to stomp all over everyone else's enjoyment. If you're really a true fan, then you'd learn to respect the decisions of your fellows. Yeah right, how could I be so wrong? I just really like the old Mishy, that's all. I only wanted everyone to understand. Oh, she did it. It looks like it's really sinking in. So this is where I've been hiding? No way. Hey everyone, it's Mishy. I'm so glad to meet you all. Mishy, what are you doing here? Are you supposed to be returning to Michelin Wonderland? Sorry, I saw someone who didn't look very happy, so I simply had to come out and see what I could do for them. Jumping in at a time like this, impressive. You know, I only just came to Republic from Michelin Wonderland. There's still a lot of stuff I don't understand about this place, like, why are my eyebrows so limp here? If it hasn't stopped me from trying to fulfill my dream, that is my dream of bringing lots of happiness to everyone, of course. And I'm going to keep working at it. And someday, I'll even be able to bring some happiness to you, Mishy. I was so wrong. I was so worried over the difference in design I never even bothered to try understanding you. But I think I get it now. No matter what he looks like, Mishy's heart and soul will always stay the same. I'm so sorry. Thank you for everything, Mishy. I knew Mishy could solve everything. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit touched myself. The guy in the suit is a pretty good actor. Would it kill you to read the room a little? I think we should all have a dream like Mishy's. It would make the world a much nicer place. Yeah, maybe, but anyway, have you considered this a case closed? The man who tried interfering with the show made an effort to apologize to each and every staff member. He seemed to deeply regret his actions. Due to his changed attitude, the group was able to handle the incident without involving the authorities. With that, the curtain came to a close on the Mishy misadventure.
That's one job behind us.
Mira deposit confirmed.
Law up. Obtained mehr law through mehr advanced synchronization. Good. That leaves the other quest in Saint Marche. Probably in the depths. No.
Whew. How relaxing.
Of wind, and of wind.
Displaying enemy stats.
Preferably off.
Keep
Okay.
it up, it's working. I suggest we strike now.
Going all in!
Keep it up, it's working. Energy output at full. Initiating drive. Accessing. Initialize. I won't lose.
Going all in!
Activating drive.
Can we sneak through somewhere?
Attack their weakness with an art.
Or we're just too fat?
Make it
Activating skill.
Stop right there! Initializing drive. There!
Gotcha.
Stop right there! Oh, yes!
Here I go. Keep it up, it's working. Activating drive.
Ow.
Go!
Reset!
Dispatching shield. I won't lose. I suggest we strike now. Ha!
Output maximized.
I suggest we strike now.
Initializing drive.
Initiating drive. Ha!
Oh, yes!
Activating skill. Ha!
Reset!
Don't take your eyes off the enemy.
Take that!
Keep an eye on the enemy!
Cobalt curtain.
Got your number.
I'll take you on. Threat detected. Take care. Ha!
There!
Gotcha!
One down.
Ha!
Oh, yes!
And all down.
I did it! Stats upgraded.
Freeze 2.
That's one more case done and dusted. Reward deposited.
But that should be it for this episode.
How relaxed.
Next time we take a look into the what's new Satan and Trion Mall, we're just talking to people, and the new level of Märchengarten. Because I doubt 2 districts are enough for an episode. Good. Until next time, then. I'm Mace, and
I guess we're off.
don't get lost.